Did you know that during birth, children who brought their feet first were killed? Did you know that amongst the Abakuria people, births that brought forth twins would see the twins killed? Did you know that a child who grew teeth from the upper jaw rather than the lower jaw was abandoned by the roadside, sitting on a goatskin for wild animals to devour or foreigners to pick and go? African tribes have very powerful stories. The African tribes, the African communities have powerful culture, the untold story, very compelling to listen to. Welcome to this episode where you will get the insights of the Abakuria Midwife. How were children delivered within the Abakuria tribe long before the coming of the white man? How was it done before modernity? Welcome to this very compelling episode where you will be listening to a woman who was both a midwife and a healer. You can't afford to miss. Welcome. My name is Sabina Oboke Opaulo Osagati. When I was a young girl, I went about normal duties that young girls do. We would meet to do normal jobs like weeding the land and all that. At some point, I started providing midwifery services. I could deliver even up to 5 births per day. 2, 3 was very normal. Besides being a midwife, I was also a herbalist. I am still a herbalist. I have medication for those women who have difficult births, those women who get miscarriage. I have medication for that. There are those women who give birth to children who are already rotten from the womb. I have medication for that. And once my patients get this medication, they will not need another medication. They will not need to be treated. Just one treatment and the following births will just be okay. Besides this, I also treat stubborn wounds where somebody has suffered with a wound for so long. I have acted as a midwife for quite a long time. I attend to women from my homestead, but sometimes they come for me. They call for me. They summon me. I would always have my equipment for my job. I would have razor blades. I would have strings. So all these things I would buy and keep them in my own bag. And when I attend to a delivering mother, I would cut the umbilical cord, tie it perfectly, and then spit on the wound. Once I have cut the umbilical cord, I spit on the womb. Then this child would be bathed with special leaves called amatoratora. The baby would be washed, scrubbed on the head, on the body, and then it will be held in a clean cloth or maybe in a skin at that time. In those days, there were many deaths. The infant mortality rate was high. It is higher than now. Modern medication has since changed the trend so that the mortality rate has gone down. The modern medication they can rectify the pathway for the baby. But in those days, the pathway for the baby was always there, and sometimes when the child is being born, maybe the baby dies inside the womb, and what we'll do will be cutting in pieces this child. We cut it in pieces from the womb. And they came along with complications where the mother sometimes will end up suffering from fistula, so that urine and maybe in some cases even feces would flow. I have done this for a long time. They would come for me at night. They would come for me during the day. I was an excellent midwife. I knew how to handle it. There are those situations where the placenta refused to come out. That was my job. I'll do that. A woman who gave birth to twins, these twins would be killed. They would be destroyed. They would be thrown into the bush, into the thicket for wild animals to eat. A baby that brought forth feet instead of the head was also killed. He was destroyed. Even within my own neighborhood, there is a woman who gave birth to twins, and both of them brought forth feet. They were destroyed, and I remember the mother crying in anguish, in agony. She had given birth to daughters, baby girls, who were twins. The baby who brought forth feet was called Ikihutente, and it was believed that a baby who brought forth his feet first would terminate, would destroy the other following children. But now I have since learned that a baby who brings forth feet is not bad omen. It was just a destructive belief. It was a belief. There was absolutely no reason why we had to destroy a baby that brought forth feet. And in the course of my acting as a midwife, I did handle several births where a mother gave birth to a baby who brought feet first. I used to keep it a secret, and I never used to reveal it. I would always push out the people and tell them to go. So when we are left just the two of us, I will deliver that baby, even though the baby has brought forth feet. And I will not say that the baby brought first feet. In a situation whereby a baby was born with teeth, those teeth had to be removed. They would be removed. There was some kind of teeth. In those days, it was believed that if you gave birth to a child who brought feet first, then you will not have any other child. You will not have other children. There are those situations where a child or a baby grew teeth in the upper jaw before the lower jaw. Such a baby was destroyed. What the mother will do is she would pick the skin of a goat where the baby will normally sleep. Along with the baby, then this mother will take this baby to a faraway place and then abandon the baby on the road, on the street, leaving that child sitting on the skin. Then the child would cry, calling out on the mother not to abandon her. And the mother was required to walk like she doesn't know that baby. Then that baby would be abandoned there. Strangers or passersby would pick this baby and take it to foreign land. And should the husband come and find that the wife has not disposed the baby or abandoned the baby along the roadside, the husband would beat up the woman. He would really beat her up, saying that, do you want to finish my family? Why didn't you go to destroy this baby? You want to finish my family. And therefore this baby had to be abandoned. Interestingly, such a baby that was picked by foreigners, it survived. And even that family thrived. It survived well. But within our homestead, such a baby did not thrive. The family was kind of extinguished. Even within my neighborhood, I know of a family that picked a baby from the street. Most likely this baby was abandoned by a family from an enemy clan, from a faraway clan. And this baby grew up to become a man, and we know this man. Viewer, I am of the Abakuria people. I was born, raised, and live within the Abakuria community, and I'm very passionate about the history of the Abakuria people, the culture, the doings, and many things that to the modern generation may look very weird and odd. But interestingly, the Abakuria people, like many African communities around the continent, destroyed children who were born as twins. Twins were never allowed to live. Did you know that the Abakuria people married for the dead people? Does it sound weird? Does it sound very odd? Interestingly, even the Jews married for the dead people. When we read the book of Ruth, chapter 4, we hear that there is a man who had to marry so that he may raise a family for the dead person, exactly the way the Abakuria people do it. Keep on following me. Subscribe to this channel so that we may know the in-depth, the dark side and the bright side of the Abakuria people, the rich culture that remains untapped and undocumented. Thank you for watching.